Welcome all. Hello guys, how you guys doing? I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon, and this is Humanity Unplugged podcast. Hopefully you guys have had a great week, and as we come to close of the week, it's Friday. You're getting off soon. Maybe for some they just coming in, but for some of us, we're looking forward to 12, and then everything goes downhill after that. Some people might be going to concerts this weekend, birthdays, family reunions, some type of graduation party, maybe just a quiet day at home, weekend at home with your loved ones. We'd like to thank you guys for tuning in and showing your continued support to the channel. You can reach us on all social media platforms. We're here to give you that information, that love, the things we talk about here, people talk about nowhere else. We'd like you guys to tune in every Tuesday and Thursday. Now, today is Friday, of course. Sometimes we do get pushed back forward. Sometimes we get pushed back and we go on a little later. But we try to give you guys 2 episodes per week to give you what we believe is relevant for you to listen to and to understand what's going on in your community, around the world. And hopefully we get some, as I would call it, footnotes, or maybe some caveats of information that you can take on with you somewhere else. Something positive you may be able to share with another loved one. This is our 150th episode, and we're going on 2 years strong. We're all over the world. If you check out who listen to us, a lot of people listen to us all over the countries, continents. People do listen and do give out comments. We want you guys to know we will continue to give you this information the way we get it. Today's topic is a tough topic. And before we get started, I want you guys to take off your shoes, relax your feet, get you something cold and refreshing. Maybe get you something like a coffee, a tea, a latte. Do what you like. Sit down, relax, because this is a goodie. It's 2 parts to this. This is part 1. And we want to give you this information and a lot of other information. As I sat down, and I always sit down before I do these episodes, I try to find out something I can give you guys that's relevant. I don't like doing news as much as I do it. I don't like doing it. I like to give you things ahead of time sometimes. I like to give you things that make you think, community issues, poverty issues, jobs, etc., mental health, men's hygiene, men's health, women's hygiene, family, college, economics, social development. I try to give you all levels of information. Life choices, prisons, diseases, we go over it. And today is a topic I don't think I went over before. And it's strange because this topic is probably top 5 in the nation, but it's under the radar. It's like that chicken spot, that Chinese chicken spot you know about, all your friends know about, but we don't want them to blow the spot up because they'll go up on their prices. That's what this topic is about. This topic is the same way. We all know what's happening, but if we bring light to it, it can be fixed, and you won't get it on the low no more. You're going to have to pay like you weigh. So literacy is the topic. We have a literacy crisis in the world today. And this starts at an early age. Development and teaching your children and creating good habits. Because basically, it can be prevented. Let's be honest. Let's be real. We can prevent this if we just dedicated some time to the situation. But yet we are, as a whole, we have no patience. We're always in a rush. Things have to be done, deadlines. Kids got to be picked up from school. Parents got to go to work. And kids need to do homework. So when an average parent come in to the house, they may ask that child one or two questions about their day, and that's that. Now the child gets annoyed because they got to ask questions. The mom is annoyed or the dad, they don't really want to ask the question, but they want to have some type of communication between their child. And literacy starts there. And I don't care what people tell you. My opinion, my talk, what I think, what I believe is how we can stop it is right there. You have to understand the biggest thing you can give your child is not a phone at 1 year old. A laptop at 1 year old. An iPad, a tablet at 1 year old. It's not what you give a child at 1 year old. When the child begins to crawl and begins to walk, the brain is searching. The brain is absorbing everything that the eyes can see. Therefore, we need to give the child things they can to physically and mentally do themselves, not something that will do it for them, because then it shows the person or that child at a young age, they don't have to work as hard to get it done because this tablet, this iPad, this smartphone, this calculator will help them along the way. It's all right that they know what it is, but they shouldn't be that fond of it. Because when we do that and we push that involvement, it takes them away from the basic mechanical solving development that is needed for that child to grow. The child needs to fall so they know how to get up. The child needs to cry so they can know to stop crying. The child needs to know what's hot, what's cold. And it's the same thing with teaching them how to read. Do you know, if we don't go back to the essence of breaking away from social media, from teaching our children ourselves, putting a book in their hand, our children now are graduating on an all-time high of not knowing how to read. The education or the educational standards that you're leaving them to educate your child with, they're just skipping them along. There's no standards being upheld in our Board of Education. So children, teenagers, young adults are being pushed through without proper scoring, accountability, and forcing that child to learn it. So they falling by the wayside by pushing them through, and they don't learn anything. All this takes effect to your child's development, problem-solving skills, crisis intervention skills. Because let's face it, whether you like it or not, The first crisis a child might go through is learning how to crawl, sit up, walk, talk. That is a crisis for them. Yeah, we don't see it like that, but that's what it is. And when they finally said, Mama, it is an achievement that we reward them, or Daddy, Dada, whatever it is, we reward them with that, and we give them cheers and claps. So it's an achievement, just like they take their first steps. So we have to push that in them all the time. It don't just stop once we hand them a smart device. Because on these smart devices, there's social media apps and applications there that distract your child. So when we peel the layers, let's peel the layer now. When we peel the layer, these apps that are being used distract your child from focusing on learning. Because now you have Facebook, you have TikTok, you have YouTube, and many other, Twitter. Besides the girls on these different websites, AI, Amazon, sneakers, clothes, so many distractions for that child to go through. And when it's time to focus on reading and doing schoolwork, they can't. They can't. Because they're thinking about what that girl said or what they saw on TikTok. So we have to understand that this problem will constantly exist unless we change the format. Over time, I've seen this. We know this is proven. If you practice and continue to practice, you will get better. But the distractions that brought to you by these devices and TV will stop you from focusing on your schoolwork. What happened to puzzles? Do you guys remember when puzzles first hit? First, we had the big puzzles when we were a kid, where it was like only four pieces, maybe two. And they introduced it to you as a minor. Some of you don't remember. But you started off with a small puzzle. Oh, yeah. And color rings, ABC blocks. These devices, these instruments, these tools that were used for a child help build your foundation on how to read, how to focus, how to work through crisis, not to cry, or it's okay to cry. It'll be better tomorrow. You can work at it tomorrow. When you work too hard, to overload, they gave you a nap so you could rest the brain, so you can refocus when you're up. You get back up, you're re-energized. Excuse me. These things, all these things that took place in Head Start, kindergarten, help bring the foundation for you to know and learn how to function in today's world. And we went past that. Yes, these things are still there, but at an early age, a kid is a year and a half with a tablet in their hand while they're in the car seat, and they're looking at the tablet. They don't have a clue of nothing because they're not making noise. The mother or the father is happy about it, and they're good with it. But what happened to the conversation? What happened to the communication? What happened to singing the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s? What happened to sitting that child down and asking them, What did you learn today? What did you have for lunch today? Do you know, guys, one of my besties I talk to, she has a niece. Her name is Kari. And Kari has a sister, and her name is Gabby. And Gabby is older than Kari. Kari's like 5, 6 tops. And I talked to Gabby first because Gabby's older. Gabby's like 13 or 11. And every day, for many moons that I talk with my bestie, I would get on the phone and say, "Where's Gabby? How's Gabby doing?" Put Gabby on the phone. And do you know that conversation stimulated her mind for so many years? Because I asked her specific questions. I asked her certain questions like, what did you eat for breakfast? Did you brush your teeth today? Did you wash your face? Did you comb your hair? And she would laugh because I would ask them so fast. But she would answer every question. And then I would ask her for a present. And I would say, "You going to buy me a bird?" And I give that question to her because I wanted her to remind herself every day to find her dad. And I knew her dad. We're good, great friends. And say, "Dad, Jermaine said he wants a bird." And I would ask her, did she ask him this question every day that I talked to her? Whatever, if it wasn't every day, every other day, I would try to repeat this function with her, teaching her that we want to keep you involved in conversation, mind, muscle exercises. It is so important to do that with your child. So now that Kari's here and she's younger, Kari knows that I'm going to ask her certain questions because Gabby done told her, "Oh, Jermaine's going to get you." But I asked Kari a different question. Kari has little dolls she play with, and they all got different names. And I ask her every time I can get a chance, I say to Kari, "Did you feed your kids today? What did you feed your kids?" And she'll think, now she's lying. She ain't fed them nothing. They ain't eating, God knows. These are dolls. But it's the imagination of keeping the muscle to move, not to tell me the same thing that you told me yesterday. Because I'm going to ask you, well, ain't that something you gave them yesterday? And then the next question I'm going to ask her is, did you take the kids out to the park? How come I never see you with the kids? These are things that you make the mind move, exercise. This is what you need to do to your child. Interact with your child. It's not about turning on the TV, YouTube, finding their favorite channel they want to watch and tell them, go figure it out. Because that's what you're doing. There's no exercise in that. There's no muscle stimulation in that. To a certain degree it is, but it's done by a formulated program, not with a human asking another human a question that makes the brain move more. Because one question leads to another question that leads into more questions. And that's how you have a relationship and a bond with your loved one, because you're having an interaction that is genuine, not formatted. So it's really important that you take this time to talk with your child. Give them a brief conversation. Ask them what they did today, what you learned in math today. My kids hated me for that. I know I pissed them off. I know they cursed me out underneath their breath. But all my kids graduated. They all can read and spell very well. Some of them went to college. They're all doing what they want to do. And later on, you know what they tell me? "Thanks, Dad." And I asked them, "What you saying thank you for? What are you talking about?" "Because, Dad, you pushed me. When I wanted to give up, you pushed me. When I wanted to turn the other way, you pushed me. And I thank you." And you know what I tell them? I love you. You're my boy. I want the best for you. And sometimes getting the best out of your children is you crossing a path where you stand by yourself. And as a parent, don't be afraid to stand by yourself and teach that child the right thing, not what everybody else doing. Teach them principles and morals. Teach them it's okay to be by yourself. It's okay not to be a follower. It's okay to tell somebody no, maybe next time. It's all right to do that. Not every day is your day to go hang out. Teach them culture things. Teach them environmental things. Teach them how to get up in the morning and put out a format of what you want to get done and then execute. It's not all about laying in the bed till 3 p.m. Sometimes you got to get up early and show that child how to put that as a regiment in their life to get things done. Because getting up early and getting things done, you get more done in a day. Because you didn't sleep through the day. Some kids don't know that because they never experienced that. We have to try to do more things to make our children interact other than go by a format. Every child does this before they go to bed if they have a smartphone. They lay in the bed on the smartphone and look at the apps. It's a fact. Unless the kid phone is taken away from them by their parents. 10 and up, they do it. Shit, we can go lower than that. 7 and up do it. Every day. It's a fact. They on that phone or on that P5, P4, P3, whatever it is, computer, every night before they go to bed religiously. And when you tell them it's time to go to bed, most of the time they get an attitude, they get mad, they're upset, and you keep doing the same process every day. You think they're not going to get upset tomorrow? You think something's supposed to change? You have to implement another format to change their direction. Let them know it's okay to do this, but we're not going to do this every day. Some days you're going to read a book to me before you go to sleep. Hello, hi, hello, are you there? Hello, hi. Yeah, a book. It's not a magical thing. It's not like the Bible, something you ain't seen in years, or you might think just a myth of the Bible. Books do exist. Yeah, hello, hi. Books do exist. Yes, they come with paper and ink inside of it. Some have pictures. Yeah, they certainly do. And you can take 2 hands and open it up, and they have words put together, alphabets put together. They equal words and periods and punctuation marks and commas. Yeah. Capital letters. Yeah. Sentences, paragraphs. Yeah. Uh-huh. And you make that child read it out loud. Yes. Hello. Out loud. Hello. Hi. Yeah. Read it. So they can interact. You can listen to them read. Yes. Give them the Bible to read, a magazine to read. Hello? Yes. When you go into the doctor's office and the magazine sitting there, all crusty looking, some of them might look pretty good. Grab one, take it with you. Give it to your kid in the back seat. Tell them to tell me what you see in the magazine. Read the articles. Go to the front. Show them the index, the glossary. Show them how to look through a magazine and get the sections and different paragraphs and what's to talk about in the magazine. And then tell them to pick an article and read it out loud to me. These are the things that impact your child like no other. They don't need to see Ralph McDaniel's new video on hip hop is real alive, or go on hip hop and what they call it, Love and Hip Hop, and Love and Hip Hop Georgia, Love and Hip Hop LA, Love and Hip Hop New York. We don't, come on. They showing all flesh. Women got half their body showing on every commercial. Now they showing same sex on every commercial. It's okay, whatever you like. That's your, it's cool. But we push that on kids now that don't know nothing. Why? They'll know it's all right when they get to that stage. Yeah. Why we got to push it on them so early? Huh? Hello? I'm just asking. What happened to the, just let them find out when they find out. No, we want to just put it out there. So now that your son is 8 and 7 years old, wearing a dress, wearing your mom heels, and he thinks it's all right because he's seen a commercial with it. But he don't know that that's a commercial. But he thinks it's all right. When you tell him to get out of it, he might get offended. And I understand you don't want to offend him, but he need to know the difference. So now you're stuck in a pickle. How about cut the TV off and all electronics taken away for a couple hours a day while they're at home? Give them something to do that's a muscle exercise, pen and paper. All of these things I talk about can help with literacy. And before we get into videos, because I'm not doing that today, but as we go to different parts of this and we read and listen and understand what's happening in our schools and Board of Education, these are the exercises that we start at the beginning. That's why this is first. This is the very first. Your child, you are the first teacher for your child. You are the first of everything for your child. So what they learn first come from you. Yeah, hello. Hi. You. If you don't show them good exercises and good things to do, how are they supposed to get it? I'll wait. If you don't show them it's okay to pick up a book with paper in it from a library, go get a library card. Yeah, that still exists. A library. It still exists. Library cards still exist. Yeah. Show them what that looks, the inside of that looks like. Hello. We want to take our kids to concerts, to the mall, to Chase, Planet Fitness, Costco's, the hair place, the nail salon. Take them to Bible study. Take them to the library. Take them to a spelling bee contest. Take them to a math contest. Take them to a book reading, a poetry reading. Take them out to places where you got to function with your brain. See, that will this reduce the numbers in literacy? See if parents get more involved like this, it will change the numbers on the crisis of literacy. Because parents are chasing $1, so they don't have time to teach the child. So they leave it up to the Board of Education to teach their child. That's what's going on. I'm just saying. I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong. But the numbers don't lie that things have changed. And I can only say that the 80s babies and the 90s babies in the year 2000, maybe right after 90s babies, are all out. And the formatting and reading and how they educate kids now have changed. So now these 2000 babies are more formats of computers, social media, and things like that. And that's might be why the literacy rate has risen. Is that possible? What do we do at work all day? Cell phone, computer, social media. So the same thing you do at work, you don't think your child do that at school? I'm just asking. I could be wrong, right? Or they could be doing drive-bys. I mean, let's face it. If they're not doing electronics, they're definitely doing drive-bys, right? Because ain't nobody going to the library. Right? Nobody going to open book night. Oh, no. We ain't doing that, right? Let's face it. When they do sleepovers at their girlfriend houses, you know, the girls come over. None of them girls are picking up a book and having a book night. Oh, no. They got their pajamas on. They all got their phones in their hand. And they're just, woo. And I understand. It's a balance thing, right? I understand. I'm just saying. We got to apply different measures. Things are getting way out of control. And no one is holding themselves accountable. So I think the parents who should be holding themselves accountable, hold themselves accountable. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry if I offended you. I'm so sorry that you're chasing $1 and your kid can barely read. I'm sorry. But you need to understand what you really should focus on. Your kid is bad as hell, can't go to no more schools, but your mom makes 6 figures. Congratulations. The balance, right? Hello, hi. What's more important? You providing for your family or your kid learn how to read, spell, behave, conduct himself where he don't get himself locked away like majority of the teens that's 17 to 35 years old that's incarcerated throughout Illinois, Nevada, Wyoming, Kentucky, Washington. You name the state, the prisons are there, and they fill up with minority people. I'm just saying. That's our episode this week, guys. 51 is coming. Part 2, the literacy crisis, part 2. It's coming out probably Monday night. On Monday, probably Monday day. Monday in the morning, we're going to go to part 2 to this. It's several parts. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We at the 33-minute mark, and I want you guys to understand, I'm not picking on nobody. I'm not saying who's right, who's wrong. Let's implement a different way of teaching our children so we might can get better results. That's my conclusion. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon. This is Humanity Unplugged. God bless. Stay safe. Protect yourself at all times. Peace.